What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a long-awaited acquisitions video. This one's a little bit different because this is the first of many comic book acquisitions videos. This is a part of a larger collection that's going to be coming in piecemeal because he's got about, he told me he has about over 60 long boxes that he's going through. So he's going through them piecemeal at a time until, you know, every month, and when he goes through and catalogs them, he's gonna send them in. This is a collector who's been collecting, used to have a comic store back in the 80s and 90s, and all of his stuff is from the 80s, yeah, I guess whenever they had the store, and even before. Some of his personal collection, some of the store collection, all the way up until the early to mid 90s. So if you look at, when you can see these books are all, you'll see that they're all pretty old. The majority, I've already went through a lot of this, but some of the good stuff is in here. Most of the good stuff is in here. A lot of this is just the bulk, things that are either going to go in either mystery boxes or just like big bulk lots. But you can see, like you could look, Action Comics. These are, the old stuff, the Adventures. A lot of this is mostly A's. Action Comics, and then it goes. See, you can see. There's Funeral for a Friend. You can see this in 90s storyline, and you can see, there's multiple copies of this, like 5 or 6 copies of this. There's the Reign of Superman storyline. He's got a bunch of those. Like I said, this guy was a comic store owner and collector, and he's just been keeping it there for almost 30 years. And he's just deciding he needs room in his garage, so he's clearing it out. 0 Hour, you can see that. Wow, that's an old one. Oh, there you go. That's a cool one. Action Comics Annual number 1. Like I said, all this is going to be bulk things. So there are some sort of complete runs, full runs of, maybe 20, 10, 15 issues in a row that could probably list and sell for a few bucks here and there. But let's get to, the goods here. Some of the stuff here in the front still, it's bulk stuff, but I think over here is where it's kind of starts. Yeah, so here's kind of first Lethal Protector number 4, first appearance of Scream. There's a bunch of copies of this in here. There's like 5 or 6 copies of this, and then there's a bunch, almost 10 copies of Spider-Man 2099. The condition of these, some of these are going to be near mint or better, but some of these are not, because some of these are on his from his personal collection, so he did read them. But let's take a look. So you can see here there is a New Mutants 98 in here. This is definitely near mint. It's probably not an 8, but you can see what the price was back when he had it, because this is from the store. $11.50. It's crazy, right? But there's just a lot of these types. See, look, there's Predator 1. There's Punisher 1 limited series, Punisher War Journal. I'm going to pull these out and then fan them out so you can see a little bit better. Okay, here's more stuff that I just fanned out. You can see here, like I was talking about, the Spider-Man 2099. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 copies. These are all going to be high grade, obviously, because of the cover and the material. Some of these are probably going to be 9/8. I'm probably going to put this after a press and clean pre-screen 9.8, right? And then the Lethal Protector number 4. There's 5 copies. These look like they could be 8s. And then there's the 30th anniversary. Some say that this is the first appearance of Miguel O'Hara 2099, but it's basically this. I think it's just like the first few pages of this in here as a preview, and then this is kind of what's hot right now, the Midnight Sun stuff. You can see the Ghost Rider 28. This is still hot out there. Morbius, especially with the trailer, this is still up there. Darkhold. They could definitely. This is something when the Doctor Strange movie comes out. These are going to be. These are all near mints. A couple of these are in the poly bag still, so we'll take them out and see. Obviously, these are probably going to get pressed, cleaned, and CGC pre-screened. And then let's look at this next batch here. Okay, here's the next batch here. Infinity Gauntlet number 1, 4 copies. These are high grade. G.I. Joe number 1, G.I. Joe number 2, number 21. It's the first appearance of Storm Shadow. 24, 25, 32. Looks like 32. This is the first appearance of Lady J, and I think there's some kind of something they're doing with Lady J and in like a show or animated or something. I'm not sure, but these are like some of the better ones. And then Punisher, limited series number 1, War Journal number 1, first appearance of U.S. Agent, Booster Gold number 1, first appearance of Booster. This is a good one actually right here. This is first appearance of Ultron, Avengers number 55. This is pretty high grade. It just looks, it's just old because obviously it's a Silver Age book, but I looked, there's not very many problems with it, if any. This is close to a near mint, if not in near mint. And these are mid-grade, low-grade. Avengers 19, first appearance of Swordsman. It's going to be going up when the show comes out, Hawkeye show. First Monica Rambeau, first Taskmaster. These are lower, mid to lower grade. But let's look on the next batch. Okay, this is the penultimate batch here. We have Spider-Man Unlimited number 1, first appearance of Shriek. That's high grade. Silver Surfer number 1 and 34 with the spec of, or with the coming of the Fantastic Four in the MCU. These are probably going to be going up, or going to be in demand. Suicide Squad number 1 and West Coast Avengers 45, first appearance of White Vision. These are all pretty high grade. Near mint or close to it, near mint minus. We got some cool things here, just like Batman stuff. Dark Knight Returns, Killing Joke, Alpha Flight 1. This, interesting to note here, this is a first printing of Killing Joke, so that's a good one. And then the last two here, ROM Space Knight number 1, solid book. And then the big one here, the big find from this collection, I think, is the New Mutants number 98, first appearance of Deadpool. This is a high grade, probably 9.4 or better. I can only, from what I see, there's only one major tick, but I haven't seen the back of it yet. But this obviously has just been put in the bag and board from initial purchase for what, almost 30 years. And interesting, like, I like seeing this. $11.50. Imagine that, guys, buying this for $11.50 back then, getting it slabbed down, $1,000 or so, 500 or more, whatever. All right, let's look at the last batch. In this last batch, some of the more obscure or maybe not as prevalent, common, that everybody's like kind of looking for, but they have a lot of value still. I'll start up here with Watchmen number 1. Obviously, everybody knows this one. Predator number 1. This the Dark Horse one. This is it's a high grade, definitely maybe a 9.0, 9.2 with the press clean. And this is Miracle Man number 24. This is the last issue or second to last issue, but because of it's the end of the run, they didn't make that many. This is pretty valuable. I haven't really checked, but I'll look it up and put it up on the screen here. And then the big one here, I think this is really cool. Usagi Yojimbo number 1. Jeez. Fantagraphics Books 1986. Yeah, 1986 right there. This is another high grade book, definitely in the 9s. But this is a rare one, because it's an old non-Marvel DC, so they didn't make that many. Like, for those of you that know, they only made 3,000 copies of TMNT 1 first print, so that's why that's so expensive. Here we have, about these. These are Transformers number 1, 2 copies, both high grade, definitely in the 9s. And then the last issue of Transformers number 80. This one is another one that holds significant value, which I didn't know, but obviously when there's the end of a series and it's a popular series, if you're trying to get the full run, the last of the series is going to be very expensive because they didn't make that many and people are going to want them. So that's that. And then these two, Dark Horse Presents number 1. This one's up there too. And then I didn't even know this existed, to be honest, until I was looking them up. Men in Black, Aircell Comics. Look at that, number 1 and number 2. The first appearance of the Men in Black. These also hold some value too. So some of these are going to get graded, some of these are going to get pressed. So it's going to cost me quite a bit more, as well as time. So the ones that are going to be close to an 8, 9.8, those are the ones that are going to be submitting. Until next time, guys. See ya.